It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I had the privilege to interview the Rosewood softball Mackenzie Amodeo, who committed to UNCW. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to play softball in college?
Yeah, so I started off just playing like in a rec league, and then I eventually moved on to travel ball. And so travel ball was where I really knew I wanted to play at the next level. And so I was just saying having coaches that had connections with college coaches and just being in that atmosphere of just a high intensity level. I knew I wanted to play at college, so I say really travel ball is where I knew.
Can you talk about, of course, your experience in high school playing volleyball?
So playing volleyball in high school, that was just a sport I did on the side just to have fun. It was I wasn't necessarily best at volleyball, but it was a sport that was just fun for me and just something else to do.
Did you play softball in high school with Rosewood?
Yeah, I played, so far I've played my freshman and sophomore year and a little bit of my junior year, but of course COVID cut that off.
Can you talk about, of course, what you plan to accomplish in your senior year at Rosewood playing softball?
So for my senior year, I'd hope to get a conference title. I think that's the ultimate goal. And then from that, work on going deep into states and making good run in state playoffs.
Can you talk about, of course, the recruitment process for you and what that was like during COVID?
Yeah, so the recruitment process was a very long process. I'd say I started getting college attention my freshman year, and then from there I was in contact with coaches. I'd get emails getting invited to camps, and then I'd be emailing coaches, inviting them to come watch me play. But then so it was like a back and forth type of thing. But then I'd say that changed because the NCAA made in the middle of my recruitment process, they made a new rule that you had to be a junior, and it had to be September 1st of your junior to commit to a D1 school. And then on top of that, a college coach, a D1 coach, couldn't contact you. So I could text a coach and email them and stuff, but I wouldn't expect a reply back. And so that really changed things for a lot of people in softball. And so really, I just had to wait until I did hit that date in my junior year to I'd say continue on from where I left off before that new rule went into place. And so recruiting, it was a long process, but it was worth it. It was hard, but it was worth it.
Can you talk about, of course, how it felt to send out emails to coaches and wait back for them to see your footage and stuff like that?
Yeah, well, a lot of times you'd email a coach and you, even before the rule, they wouldn't email you back. It was just you would just kind of send them your tournament schedule or your game schedule, just inviting them to come watch you play. And then you would just hope they showed up or come watch and actually read your emails, because they're getting a lot of emails from kids. So you just hope they see your email and come watch and take time to come watch you play.
Can you talk about, of course, what it felt like on the day that you signed your letter of intent to play for UNCW?
Yeah, so of course it was different than what I originally had planned because of COVID. Usually what I first thought it was going to be, it was going to be in the middle of school, and then everyone from school who wanted to come would come. But so this year we had a max number of 25 people we could invite. And so that was still fine. I was glad I was able to do it in person and stuff. So I was excited to finally do it, all that waiting, just finally do it.
What was it like to put the pen to the paper and finally sign your letter to play for UNCW, knowing that the recruitment process is over with at that point?
It was relieving because it was finally official. There was no more waiting until the day. I finally made it official on paper.
Can you talk about what you plan to accomplish in this upcoming year playing softball?
I hope to just improve my game overall, like just keep improving as a player, like teammate, a person in general. So then when I do get to UNCW, I'm like ready for the atmosphere and just being at that level.
Can you talk about, of course, what you plan to accomplish with Coach Christie at UNCW?
I just want to help and just help any way I can, whether it's helping to a conference title, like winning a conference title or making the playoff for conference, just to help the program.
What advice would you give upcoming volleyball players and even softball players looking to play in high school?
So in high school, I would say just to enjoy it. Like people always tell you how fast high school goes by and you never really believe them until you're the one in high school. Like it flew by for me. So I would say one, enjoy it, and two, don't take it for granted because like yeah, we assumed we were going to have a year, but COVID shut that down. So just know nothing's guaranteed and give every game 100% like it's your last.
What advice would you give upcoming high school players looking to go into college playing softball?
So the advice I'd give them is one, make sure you're contacting coaches so they know who you are and they know you're showing your interest because they're not just going to show up if you don't talk to them. So you really want to make sure you're building that connection with coaches. And then also I would say going to camps is very important because they want to be able to put a face to the name on the email. And so going to camps is important, one, so they know who you are. And then you can also start to build the relationship with the coaching staff, like that one-on-one relationship. So I would say just contacting them and going to camps.
That's wonderful advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media?
On Instagram, I'm Mackenzie.Amodeo.
Thank you again, Mackenzie, for your interview, and best of luck at UNCW in this upcoming year.
Yep, thank you.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Mackenzie, for your interview, and best of luck.
Thank you.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.